Let's go, baby. Woo. Nothing like doing a pregame show on a win streak. One in a row.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, baby. What is everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Presented by Miller Lite. What time is it?
Miller time. I assume is it Miller Standard Time.
Miller Standard Time. That's right. Man, maybe a Miller Lite will pick up my Monday energy. You know, it gets dark.
Not going to bring it down.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, it gets dark now.
Can I tell you what you're experiencing?
Winter affect seasonal
affected depression. Welcome.
Got a great pregame show for you guys. We're going to talk about awards. It's award season, you guys.
God damn it. If we're not talking about
talk about awards, man. We got to talk about them. We also have the biggest questions surrounding the Denver Nuggets. We might all have different answers because that's the rule. Nuggets are taking on the Knicks. We are presented by Bet365. Damn it, we're in the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle, DNVR. Brennan Votes in the house.
Hey, presented by Miller Lite. What time is it?
Miller time.
Did we do that already?
We already did it.
It's Nuggets. It's game time. No place I'd rather be on a Monday night, truthfully, than right here with you guys.
Hell yeah, man. I love that energy. Picking me up over here. And over here, the man getting ready for Black Friday. It's D-Line Co.
Am I cheap? Not quite sure the implication, but I am. So how mad could I be? I am wearing all black. I can't wait to watch this Nuggets game also. Not going to lie to you, though. Would rather be home in my bed.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
All right. A little good angel, bad angel. Superstar Dev, where are you at?
The other day, I got to see all of my friends sit on this set right here and celebrate, smile as big as they've ever smiled. I was not there.
Why do you think that? Well, I'll let you connect those dots.
I just hope that I get to experience that here.
Man, it was vibey.
Dude.
I would like to experience
vibey, dude.
We saved you some vibes, though.
Beefed them all up. I was completely we went hard celebrating that one. Dev, it was a packed bar. I mean, everything good happened. It was incredible.
Was all of our homies here?
All of our homies were here, man. But you know what? Tonight's going to be more of the same, dude. It's just a Monday night. We got Nuggets-Knicks. What do you got for game notes?
All right. Well, they're taking on the Knicks tonight, fellas, who are a one-game losing streak. They lost to the Utah Jazz, actually.
Spaghetti-O. That's not good.
Oh, they have the Utah-Denver duo. Okay.
They do. Now, the Knicks have been dealing with some injuries. Let's get you those updates. Precious Achiuwa, he's out.
Okay.
Miles McBride has been out, was questionable for this game.
Hold on.
Has been injured, was questionable for this game. He is going to play. Deuce McBride is going to play in this game. You might have seen him questionable.
Big lift for them, man.
Report.
So when he's out, he's Miles, and when he's in, he's Deuce.
Okay.
Of course, Mitchell Robinson out with that left ankle surgery, and then another big one, the big bodega, Karl Anthony Towns. He was questionable with that left calf contusion. He is going to play in this game, though. That is the word on the street. Speaking of calf injuries, Aaron Gordon still out tonight, guys. And the big quote from Malone before the game was just him telling us that he talked with Aaron Gordon a bit for today, actually.
Did he grab him?
He just grabbed a guy,
okay.
And in which Malone shared with the media that the calf injury has been particularly tough for Aaron Gordon. This is coming from Katie Winge here on the ground in Ball Arena. AG was playing at such a high level, and he's in good spirits, but no timetable yet for a return. Malone said they're going to be smart.
They should be, man.
They should be. I think AG was optimistic about a quick return. And, I think they're going to take it a little slower than that.
100%.
But, when they say it's been tough on him, obviously, guys, Aaron Gordon was in quite the rhythm there before he went down. So, obviously, no Aaron Gordon tonight.
I'll bet he's right back in rhythm, though, when he comes back. Assuming he's healthy. You know what I mean? Like, there might be a game or two where he's not dunking as much, but he's a guy that knows what his role is.
Yeah, but he was knocking down threes. You remember this? He was draining three balls.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good one.
Well, I mean, he has to work on his jump shot right now. There's nothing else he can do if you're not running. You got to still be shooting.
That's true. A calf strain, I think you can still do jumpers. I don't know.
What if you live on a basketball court?
If you've been locked into the injury report, you may have noticed Peyton Watson popped up today.
I don't like this.
Right adductor strain. We love our adductor strains. Saints here in Denver. That's some of the old good stuff right there.
This is a big thing, though, by the way, to watch and to monitor because obviously AG's out, and I think it's fine for now because Peyton Watson's there. But if you lost both of them,
dude, that's a different situation.
That's you're in trouble, man.
Still probable for now. In fact, going to play, and in fact, going to be in that starting lineup. Looks the way it has looked for a bit. Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, Michael Porter Jr., Peyton Watson, and Nikola Jokic rounding out the starting five for the Denver Nuggets. Still looking for the Knicks starting five, but just some more context on them. They're 9-7 right now, fellas. 7 games behind the Cavs. 4-5 on the road, so a bit of a mixed bag for them thus far. Again, though, they have dealt with their own injuries, and this is a tough... As Adam pointed out, it's really tough to go play in Utah, really tough to go play in Denver. You don't want to start these days with the loss in Utah. So, can it be a take care of business game, a mature game for the Nuggets, who are trying to avoid a letdown game themselves? Big win against the Lakers, big win for Michael Malone. He says, it was a great moment, but it's time to turn the page. Got a job to do. It's time to get a win. Fellas, let's find out together if that's what's going to happen on this Monday night.
So, what's interesting about the Knicks, you think about Tom Thibodeau, Dev, defensive coach, 21st in defense. Number 2 in offense. This is an offensive team, man. It really is. You add Karl Anthony Towns and they score. So tonight, it almost feels like a defensive challenge for the Nuggets. And in particular, Jalen Brunson, little tiny guard. That's a good challenge.
Yeah, but also they just got so many guys that want to score. And adding a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, he's a score first guy. Like he wants to shoot. They have spacing, and I think they're playing a little bit faster. Also, with Thibodeau, he wants to play his guy so long. So you're getting extended time of those times. So this is going to be a challenge for Denver, and you have to lock in. There's so many guys that can beat you at different times when it's not Brunson, when it's not Karl Anthony Towns. You have OG Anunoby who can, get himself going at random times. Bridges has his hot games, and then they have a bench that, can score. So, yeah, this will be a challenge for Denver. But also, this is where you step up and prove that we can slow a team down like this.
You know what struck me when you were talking about the Knicks? They have essentially the same record as the Nuggets. They have one more loss. They are 7 games out of first. That is insane. They're already 7 games out. The Nuggets
the
are
Cavs.
2.5. I know, that's the point. Like those two teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics, can you imagine how disheartening it would be to already be 7 games out and you're not even having that terrible of a season?
Boston, by the way, got Porzingis back tonight, which is way before I thought. They're up 30 points right now at the half.
Against?
The Clippers, who are coming in on a 5-game win streak.
No, don't say they're only up 30. Look how many points they put up.
78, man, in the first half.
That is insane. Porzingis came back, and it just kind of...
And the Clippers are, I think the Clippers are top 5 defense.
Well, that's enough about the other guys. Tonight's opponent, the New York Knicks, and we do have that starting lineup. It's the starting lineup they would like to go to. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns. They are well suited on paper to guard Denver, man, especially without AG, because then you can sort of say, between Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG, you have options for Jamal and Mike. Get physical with them, take them out of their games. In New York, that's how it's gone typically. That game for Denver traveling to New York against these Knicks, these try-hard Knicks, doesn't always go so well. Can it be any different in Denver? Porter, who's been playing well, is going to have to be up for the physicality. I know that's something you always keep your eye on. This is a Knicks team that can give Denver a hard time on paper for sure.
And it's a big one in the standings, too. Nuggets sit at 9-6. You win this one, go to 10-6. Guess where you go? Right up to the 4 seed. I know it's early, I think, rise and fall, but you go up to where you belong in that top 4 spot. You lose this one, you drop down with the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah.
We're not the Suns.
No, I don't like that.
Dirty.
That feels dirty. You've been in the play-in zone. So,
the 5-second rule starts to be enacted at that point. You can't stick down with the Suns for longer than 5 seconds.
You can't be down there for sure. But you know what else I'm interested in tonight is Cat versus Jokic. Mm-hmm. Because Cat has been a good Jokic defender, but I have a feeling a lot of that has to do with his buddy Rudy being the roamer. There's no Rudy now. How's Jokic going to do tonight?
Cat is on an island. He's on an island. I would have set this one out if I was him. They're about to try to destroy. Jokic is going to try to destroy him.
Cat tries to destroy Jokic, though. He loves going at him.
Yeah. I'm going to take my guy every single time. You don't have that help side. You don't have that help side defense the entire time. They also don't. Thibodeau is going to say, you need to guard your man. He's going to put him on an island and see if he can defend. And also we know that Cat is a confident player. So he really is going to feel like he belongs. So I really am excited about that matchup. They also don't have a lot of size around him. So even if they wanted to shift, they don't have that backup option. So this is really a man-to-man, who wants it more type of matchup. And Yoke better be up for the challenge because Cat's he's going to be there.
I know, and he's going to want to drag Yoke into the deep end. Like, I bet we see 8 million three-point shots from Cat tonight.
He loves to shoot the three.
He's like disturbingly good at it, and this is going to be a big night for Peyton Watson. He's going to have to do a lot of rim protection, I would guess. So I hope that he's not too hampered by that abductor or adductor.
Adductor.
Okay, we actually, well, that's true. We shall each have our PhD in this at this point.
Yeah.
We'll just call it the Andre Iguodala, and then
the Gary Harris,
the Will Barton,
the
Wilson Chandler,
the Wilson Chandler.
You just could keep going.
Okay, whatever. But yeah, I imagine Jokic is going to be out around the perimeter a lot on defense, and we'll see if he tries to return in kind. Starts to if we get a center three off, dude.
So there are guys that get up for Jokic, and guys Jokic really gets up for. I think he gets up for AD, and I'm telling you, I know just to kind of give you a little taste of how it was on Saturday, Dev. AD is terrified of Jokic. Honestly, that game to me was an ultimate where Anthony Davis wanted to pull a calf strain in that game, to be honest with you, and he couldn't. But Cat is one of the guys that likes to go at Jokic, I think, a little more than Jokic likes to go at Cat.
I agree with that. It strikes me a bit like the older brother exasperated with how hard the younger brother's trying.
Yeah.
But having said that, which is a really demeaning way of putting it and condescending way, Cat, one of the better statistical foes against Jokic. He can give Jokic a hard time on the other end. And we know that at least when paired with Rudy defensively, Cat has held his own more or less. I mean, at least compared to some other options. So, one thing Jokic can get going for him in this matchup, kind of like the Nurkic matchup, Cat can get very into it. You can get him in some foul trouble. I think sometimes Jokic will play possum and do that. But there's no, don't have to lie about it. Cat's one of the better Jokic foes out there, all things considered, even if we know he's not on his level.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see what Cat looks like without Gobert tonight, trying to guard Jokic. I hope Jokic takes him to task. Let's move on now and talk about the biggest question. So I was thinking about this as I think about the Nuggets on my off days. That's what I do with my life and my thoughts. I just think
you
about
have off
them.
Days?
Not show days. And I was sitting here thinking about, I feel like I have a lot of things figured out about the Nuggets, and I feel good about a lot. But there are a few, and they're all big questions. So let's ask what the biggest remaining question is, but let's try not to take the same one. D-Lan, I'll let you go first.
The biggest remaining question for the Denver
Nuggets.
You have all of them.
There's one that's very obvious. I let you go first.
All right, I'll go first. I'll do it. I'll go first. Jamal Murray.
No!
What the hell, dude? What the hell? Don't make us wait forever. That's what I'll say. For me, and a very dying few of me out there, we feel like you've done enough to be granted some grace. But my God, not forever. And we can't hold off everyone else forever.
What is there a date for you that you kind of feel like if it's come February he's awesome? How do you feel?
If I don't see steady improvement, from Jamal, as long as he's improving, I'm fine.
Okay.
If he just gets lazy, he gets he starts taking steps back, I'm going to start to be more on the other side of things. But come on, Jamal Murray, we're so tired of this, and I know your life is bigger oftentimes than basketball, but I don't want Jamal Murray to be the kind of player that looks back and he wants to be good but not great, and he wants to win but he doesn't want to echo throughout eternity. And he has some of that potentially to scratch that place maybe, but not if he doesn't give it what it requires. You got to feed. It's you got to feed the plant, man, or it's not going to grow. So, will Jamal Murray grow up?
But also ability. Some people wonder if it's he's lost his ability.
That's what I'm saying. I don't happen to believe that.
Me neither.
Because I see it come out in flashes, and I don't think it's just I think it's just his body feels better on some nights than it does on others.
Probably true.
And he reacts. I think it's really easy for him to get lazy. Yeah. I think it's really easy for him to not push forward. Mm-hmm. And I'm praying that they run enough just on the court that he accidentally gets in shape, because you can't for whatever reason, count on him to do it himself. But, like, is Jamal Murray going to grow up? And is Jamal Murray going to join Nikola Jokic at the table of greatness? Is he going to assume the role we all assumed for him that he's not rising up and grasping, but still feels very possible? But it's like, bro, come on, man. Like, we're all here.
Yeah. It's clearly the number one remaining question. So good job taking that one off the board.
Man.
Dev, where do you want to go?
Oh, I get to go second? Mine's is, will Nikola Jokic continue at this historic pace that he's on right now?
If so, nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. Like, really, we're to the question of, is he the best of all time? I've been seeing that question.
It's actually making an appearance lately.
We've been saying it, like, I feel like jokingly in a way.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to have legs. I feel like our audience, us up here, like the people, like we've had these conversations, but it's our guy. So we are going to say that. Now everyone else is talking about it, but he's backing it up. And this year, this is like a much different year. He really 30-point triple-double. If he is able to average that for a full year right now, like the timing of it will put him up there. If you want a championship or not, say that he won a championship with it. He would go arguably as like top 2 of all time. That's scary to even think about.
When he's hitting his 3, he is as guardable as it gets. Like, literally as unguardable, I should say, as it gets. Guardable. Unguardable. I mean, like, name anyone. Name anyone.
No, there's it's true, man.
And if he's hitting his 3, there's actually nothing you can do. And a guy who has still so far done it without Hall of Famer teammates. Shout out Russell Westbrook in the twilight years. But it's really hard to believe, at least offensively, that anyone's played better than this, really.
Yeah, it's true, man, and it's becoming mainstream. George Karl believes it. Chris Vernon throwing it out. Big Waz speculating. It's starting to go a little mainstream. I kind of love it, man. What about you? Biggest question remaining?
Well, I'll take the non-Jokic minutes then.
Okay.
I almost hate calling it a question because we know the answer. But they're not going to give up, right? You have a whole season. So do you look externally? How many more chances does Dario Saric get? Is that futile given the pairing with Westbrook? I would push back on just how washed he is, because I thought he looked like an NBA player when he started in the spot starts, but he sure does not when he's on the bench. So that's not working. You can try Zeke, you can try DeAndre. That doesn't feel like an answer. I mean, they still got, it was nice to see Jokic only play 36 minutes last win. They still got to figure that out, right? It would be nice to be, oh, you're up 23 in the fourth. Guess what, man? Don't even think about coming back into this game. But
unlace those 3-6-1s.
That's a big, big if. We know the Nuggets can succeed, even if the answer to that question is no. But to set them up for the optimal path to success in the postseason, we want to feel different about that question. And right now, it's just more of the same, if not as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah, mine is adjacent to yours because you took the bench as large.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Westbrook and Murray right now, this is courtesy of Matt Moore and Locked On Nuggets, positive net rating together without Dario Saric on the court. Positive. So my question on the bench, and I think I really only have 2 real questions. One is Jamal Murray.
Yeah, it's a great question by me.
The other one is the backup center, because I look at this and I agree. I think Dario's better than what he looks like, but he doesn't fit with Russ.
Right. So.
And maybe he will. It would be a great story. Maybe they'll figure something out, but I'm skeptical. DeAndre Jordan's not the answer. Zeke Najee's not the answer, even though I still think they have to give him minutes because you hope you catch lightning in a bottle and then you can trade him. So I still think that has to happen. Those are your 3 options.
Bro,
I don't think any of those 3 are the right answer. So the question for me becomes, can Denver find a backup center? Maybe it's Aaron Gordon, as I posit. Maybe Denver has to make a trade to just bring in anybody that can be a facsimile to give you just rim pressure on offense or something. I don't know. But right now, the bench question is tied to me to the center question, and that's the biggest question remaining. And I don't even know who's playing tonight. Like, where do you go? Do you go back to Dario? 2 bad games in a row coming off the bench?
Yeah, you do. You have to. The problem for the Nuggets is that there are 2 answers to that question. Both got injured. It was Deron Holmes and it was Vlatko Čančar. And now they are left with their 3rd, 4th, 5th choice at one position.
I mean, their first choice is Dario Saric, but to your point,
I bet the first choice was Deron Holmes. I bet it was.
Maybe.
And Dario Saric doesn't feel like a first choice to me. He feels like best available. And I would imagine that they always thought that Vlatko would be the guy. And he looked like the guy for the one half of a game he played before he got injured again. golly, that stinks so bad. Like, so yeah.
But maybe that's like if the Nuggets make a trade, I almost wonder if it's just that. If you get to January and you're like, we got to find Jokic some rest. We just have to get some guy that rolls to the rim and dunks it.
And then you get Thomas Bryant, and it never happens. I just want to throw that out.
Do you think there's any world that PJ Hall gets even a minute on the?
See, I was thinking about this, but here's the thing about PJ Hall, man. He's like 6'10". He's not very tall, and he's not an above the rim player. So
Yeah,
I don't know if that he's the guy, and he's not a switchable guy either. So it's not like you're gonna be like, well, he's small, but we're switched 1 through 5.
He's almost certainly not the answer. I would just say you could say those same things about Dario for sure, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are some we know for certain, but one we're pretty certain.
But I don't think PJ Hall's the answer. But hey, man, some people said that about Jay Huff last year, and maybe he would have been.
You know what we didn't say? Does Christian Braun fit with the starters? Is Peyton Watson ready to take a leap?
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't say those things. And to be honest with you, before the season, if we said 15 games in, is it still a question? We all on both of those would have said yes. Russell Westbrook, can he be a positive impact player alongside Jokic? Yes. Those things we thought would be big questions throughout the whole season, and they're already more or less checked, which is encouraging.
We answered all of the big questions, and which means we didn't have the foresight to understand the real questions. The backup center.
Let's now move on really quickly here to an ESPN article today. You know, they asked their ESPN staff, their basketball staff.
Sure.
They all had to submit their answers for the end of season awards. MVP, Jokic, 50 points, 67% of first place votes. Dominant in this one. The next closest was Anthony Davis, hilariously.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are they doing this?
It's a conversation. We're talking about it.
just to make people angry.
The MVP one is whatever, but let's just move quickly on this one. Jokic, very heavily the MVP, and that's no small feat because there is voter fatigue strong right now, but Jokic's been stronger than the voter fatigue to where everyone's like, it's just Jokic, guys.
Well, especially if your second option is Anthony Davis, and then that happened.
Yeah, then that happened.
It's just, he just still is.
Rookie of the Year doesn't pertain to Denver, so we'll skip it. Defensive Player of the Year doesn't pertain to Denver, so we'll skip it. Sixth Man of the Year, number 1, Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard.
Number 2, Buddy Hield.
It's a nightmare.
Number 3, Naz Reid. Then Bogdanovich, who, by the way, has barely played. Tari Eason, yeah, boy. Miles McBride, Trey Mann, TJ McConnell, and tied for 8th with 1 point, which means you got 1 third-place vote, is Russell Westbrook. Now, he does have this ridiculous on-off net rating right now because he plays with his bench. But you know what? Russ has been a sixth man for the Nuggets, and he's been a good one. I think that he actually gets some momentum on. I don't think he wins, but in the conversation by the end of the year, I think he is.
I saw these results, by the way, and I went through and I looked, and I was like, there's one Nuggets respecter amongst the ESPN staff.
Who is it?
I don't know, but there was 1 vote for Russell Westbrook and 1 vote for Michael Malone.
And it was probably the same person.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's 1 Nuggets respecter walking around those halls.
Yeah, he might be right. Do you think he climbs in this? I think
no. I don't. Look, I love
Trey Mann.
I think Russ has been good in Denver. And for me, like all things considered, but if the stamp of validation is going to be the ring, if you can get
totally,
it.
I mean, for sure,
if you can get it, it's a
yeah,
big
you're talking about a guy.
I don't think he's winning this. I just think that he's gonna be in the conversation, like the way guys they get.
Do you mean in this conversation we're having right now?
We can feel great about
no, that's fair.
The energy and the hustle and the effort because it is actually impacting games. I think.
Well,
but as far as the traditional way you look at this award, like his percentages are going to be low. His stats will be low.
The way that this works, and I watched Henry get like flamed for this on the Broncos show, which is always a great time. Is the question was asked, is Bo Nix playing at an MVP level? And that's not to say you believe he is the MVP, but it is to say, is he at least at the level where you start to put them in the conversation?
Right.
But is Russ playing at the level to even be mentioned?
Which ascension. That's my point. I think he will be at a certain point. We got to keep it moving because we got to get to best. The last one, most improved player. Surprised to see that Christian Braun did not receive a single vote. Christian Braun did not. He has more than doubled his scoring average, elite defense, playing in transition. It's not like Jokic setting him up for these fast breaks he keeps finishing, and yet he's not even in there.
Yeah, I
think that one's crazy.
That one's trifling because like he really has been playing so well. It's not just because of the Nuggets standards. Like doubling your points per game, being on the court that much, I mean, I'm sure he's doubled his minutes per game and things like that too. Like he's playing at that type of level, and he's a big reason that they're winning. He's arguably been their top, their second best player.
Yeah.
And if you're going to say that there's an MVP on the team and he's their second best player with 2 other max contract guys on the team, almost 3. and he's not up there, and it's he's young.
Bro.
That should have just been more. Like, he should get more respect, and it's gonna come. But early on, like they're clearly wrong.
When he goes to Orlando, it'll come.
I know.
Pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. And a code to get the first 2 months of Altitude Plus, courtesy of Bet365. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Dev, let's make some money. I hate when I'm not here for the pregame show and I don't get the bets.
Because they hit, no.
Because they hit.
Do you know that this is free for everyone? You could get them.
I'm working though.
He's
I'm
working,
dude. I'm
yeah.
working,
Getting
so.
some shots up.
I'm getting some shots
The
up.
Nuggets come into this game as 3-point favorites. And this game, last time I checked, was not in New York. I liked them in Denver. They do struggle in those New York games.
You're taking the points?
They're always young. I mean, early too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
take the points here.
If you tell,
I think they're gonna play well. I usually go with the under in these type of games. I think this is an over type of game. I just think that they are going to try to score. Both teams are going to go at it in high energy type of game with a lot of points put on the board. I'm going to go over 233.
It's a score fest.
For the Knicks side of things, we're going to go with OG Anunoby over 25 points, rebounds, and assists. He gets the Michael Porter Jr. matchup. He plays well against them. It makes you remember that. But also, we see a little bit more from Michael Porter Jr. We just haven't talked as much about the defense. Hey, clear your face up, Vote. Clear your face up.
I'm just looking at my bets.
I'm going to go over for OG.
Okay.
I'm going to also go over on Jalen Brunson. He has those games that he gets to go off in. I think this would be one of those games. He's going to be one of those guys that you're a little bit frustrated watching. He puts up these big numbers, but like he's foul grifting, and they're giving
Every
it to
time.
him.
Every time. He's the worst one in the NBA.
And also, Denver, like they have some defenders that like just they don't make the smartest of decisions where they're going to foul them. So I like the over 26 points. For the Nuggets side of things, wake up. We're going to go with Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 3-pointers.
It's only 2.5. What are they doing?
He doesn't shoot them anymore. He only has been like shooting
I know.
like
He's
3 and 4.
He's
He
an
had
above the
4
rim
last game.
player, dude.
He had 4 last game. He's
but it's
getting
up
3.
and down. They have to get it back to like the meat. Like this was it all last year. I think he's going to go over 2.5 3-pointers.
Me
He has
too.
to open
Love
up that
it.
floor. I'm going to also go over 2.5 assists.
What are you doing, Dev?
We're going over.
You're switching it up?
No, this is what we've been going with.
Yeah, we've been one time in a row.
Over
now.
2.5 assists. I mean, he's part of the offense, and he's part of the flow. I like it.
Okay.
For our Jamal bet, he hasn't been scoring, and they keep putting it at 20.5 points. We're not going to do that. We're going to go over 5 assists.
Man.
We're going to do this as a juicer. It's at 5.5, and it has high juice. I think it's going to be the 5 assists if I had to put it on.
Okay.
So I like Jamal in that one. I seen a stat today I couldn't believe. Peyton Watson has like 7 games in a row of getting
5 rebounds. Yeah.
His line, perfectly. 4.5.
You think it happens again?
Oh, we're gonna go again.
Yo, I'll tell you one thing though. Josh Hart's on the floor. That guy grabs every board from the wing, man.
Over 4.5 rebounds for Peyton Watson. I like it. We're gonna go with Christian Braun over 18.5 points plus rebounds. He continues to get this. If you're gonna get this one, you always should go with the points as well. It's just 13.5, and then we combine them. So do his points, then also do his rebounds combined. Let's get the steals plus blocks. So his stock's at 1.5.
You like
It's at
that?
plus money too for Christian Braun.
For Christian? 1.5. All right.
We're gonna do a Jokic triple double.
Really? We had a game off.
Double. I think he gets a triple double. I mean, I think it was a little bit personal with Anthony Davis, so he didn't want to pass it.
Yeah.
They're going to keep it moving and stuff like that. I just think that it's going to work. And then also for the lock of the night,
You said lock.
Jokic over 27.5 points.
I love that you brought this up.
I think he's going to have like a 40 ball. He is going to go at Karl Anthony Towns, and it's going to be like one of those like, I told y'all he could not guard me type of games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of help side typically with him. Cat has been a primary defender, but everyone else is helping. He's been in a situation where he gets to get saved he won't get saved now. I think that Yoke lures him out, destroys him in front of everybody.
What?
Maybe it's going to be a Benihana's night.
Benihana. Watching him cook.
Watching him cook.
One thing
baby.
about Yoke, real quick: 4 straight games of 30 points. His record is 5 games. Happened in 2022. The only time he's ever scored 35 times in a row. So tonight he could match that, which would be pretty dope. I'd be all for it. We got a couple super chats.
Eloy Zamora, Christian Braun will be Joker's first All-Star teammate.
Let's do it.
I say even Russ could be an All-Star again before Jamal.
Oh, that turned negative at the end there.
Honestly, no. As low as we are on. No. Druid Trading. Hi.
Hey! All righty. Nuggets-Knicks, baby. Man, Michael Malone's a special one for him. He remember his father coaching with Jeff Van Gundy.
So he's like a New York guy.
He's like a New
It's
York
whole
guy.
thing.
You know, it's a
We don't
whole
have enough
thing.
time.
We don't have enough time. Everybody, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. We'll see you on the other side.
We all silly like the mayor.